chosen ones, the bad karma they can't escape after hurting you. Let's start with a truth that cuts deep when someone hurts you, especially if they're a chosen one. The consequences are far more profound than what meets the eye. You see, chosen ones are not ordinary souls. They are individuals who carry a heightened spiritual responsibility, a unique energy, and a connection to the divine that sets them apart. But that connection comes with accountability. When they misuse their power, their words, or their actions to wound someone, the ripple effect is massive, and karma doesn't turn a blind eye. In fact, it intensifies. The spiritual contracts they carry demand that balance be restored. So, let me ask you, have you ever been hurt by someone who seemed untouchable? Someone who carried an aura of greatness, yet their actions left scars on your soul? If so, you're about to understand something that will finally bring you peace. The idea of karma is not just a poetic concept. It's a universal law, an unbreakable force. Every action, every intention, every word carries energy, and that energy always, without exception, returns to its source. For chosen ones, this karmic return is amplified because their energy is so potent. Think of it like this: when a regular person throws a pebble into a pond, it creates ripples. But when a chosen one throws a boulder into that same pond, the ripples are tidal waves. Their actions, good or bad, are magnified because of the spiritual weight they carry. So, when a chosen one hurts you, whether it's through betrayal, abandonment, manipulation, or even something unintentional, the karma they incur is not something they can escape. It becomes a force they must face, one that reshapes their path until balance is restored. But let's go deeper, because this isn't just about punishment or cosmic revenge. Karma isn't vindictive, it's corrective. When a chosen one harms someone, especially someone with an open, loving heart, the universe sees it as a breach of spiritual integrity. Chosen ones are meant to uplift, to guide, to protect. When they do the opposite, they violate not only your trust but also their own higher purpose. And here's where it gets profound: the universe doesn't just step in to get even, it steps in to teach.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The karmic consequences they face are designed to awaken them, to force them to confront the parts of themselves that allowed them to cause harm in the first place. But here's the deep question I want you to ask yourself: does knowing this bring you peace? Or are you still holding on to the pain they caused, waiting for karma to do its work? Because true healing doesn't come from watching someone else suffer, it comes from releasing the power they had over you. There's something else we need to address. Often, when a chosen one hurts you, it feels personal, and it is personal on a soul level. But it's also much bigger than that. You have to understand that chosen ones live in a constant state of spiritual warfare. They're battling forces, both internal and external, that most people can't even begin to comprehend. Their light is so powerful that it attracts darkness, challenges, and tests at every turn. Sometimes when they hurt you, it's not because they're inherently bad or malicious. It's because they're struggling with their own shadows, their own wounds, their own karma. This doesn't excuse their actions, but it explains them. And here's something you need to hear: their pain doesn't diminish yours. Their struggle doesn't justify the harm they caused. But understanding it can help you release the resentment, the anger, the desire for retaliation. So let me ask you, can you see their humanity, even in their mistakes? Can you hold space for their growth while still honoring your own healing? Now, let's talk about what happens when a chosen one faces the bad karma they've created. It's not always immediate, but it's inevitable. The universe has an impeccable sense of timing, and when it delivers karma, it does so with precision. For a chosen one, This can manifest in countless ways. Their relationships may crumble. Their spiritual gifts may feel blocked. They may find themselves in situations that mirror the pain they caused you, forcing them to confront the impact of their actions. And while this may sound satisfying to hear, let me tell you something even more powerful: their karma is not your responsibility. You don't need to wait for it, watch for it, or hope for it. The universe will handle them. Your only job is to handle you, to heal, to grow, to rise above the pain they caused and become stronger because of it. So, let me ask you, are you ready to let go of the need to see their karma play out? Are you ready to trust that the universe has already set the wheels in motion? When a chosen one hurts you, it's easy to feel like they've gotten away with it. Their energy is so magnetic, their presence so impactful, that they often seem untouchable. But no one, not even a chosen one, is immune to the law of cause and effect. Their actions have consequences, and the universe will ensure that balance is restored. But here's where we flip the script. Instead of focusing on their karma, let's focus on the gift they've unknowingly given you. Because yes, even their betrayal, their cruelty, their mistakes, they've given you something. Perhaps it's a lesson in boundaries, in self-worth, in resilience. Perhaps it's a deeper understanding of your own strength, your own capacity to forgive, your own ability to transform pain into power. So let me ask you one final question before we continue. Can you see how their actions, as painful as they were, have shaped you into the person you are today? The ripple effect, how their karma becomes your growth. When someone, especially a chosen one, hurts you, it can feel like the wound runs deeper than anything else. It's not just about what they did, it's about how their energy, their words, their presence left a mark on your soul. But here's where the universe steps in with something profound. The pain they caused doesn't have to define you. In fact, it becomes the very soil in which your growth takes root. The ripples of their bad karma don't just flow outward, they flow inward, creating opportunities for transformation in you. And this is where the power lies. You see, their actions toward you may have been unjust, but the way you choose to respond will determine whether that pain becomes your prison or your liberation. So, let me ask you, are you ready to turn their harm into your healing? Are you ready to take what they broke and build something unshakable from it? The first thing to understand is that when a chosen one hurts you, it's not a random event. It's part of a larger spiritual contract, a cosmic agreement between your soul and theirs. You may not remember making this agreement, but on a soul level, you both chose to cross paths for a reason. They were meant to challenge you in ways that would force you to rise, to evolve, to tap into the power you didn't even know you had. And you, in turn, were meant to be a mirror for them, reflecting back the consequences of their actions, showing them the karmic weight of their choices. This doesn't mean you deserve the pain they caused, far from it. But it does mean that the pain wasn't meaningless. It was a catalyst. And the question you need to ask yourself is this: will you let that catalyst destroy you, or will you let it transform you? One of the most profound ways their karma becomes your growth is through the lessons it forces you to learn. Maybe their betrayal taught you about the importance of boundaries, about the need to protect your energy and prioritize your well-being. Maybe their rejection showed you that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's validation, that you are enough exactly as you are. Or maybe their actions pushed you to confront parts of yourself that you'd been avoiding: your fears, your insecurities, your wounds. These lessons are not easy, but they are invaluable. They are the tools you'll carry with you as you move forward, tools that will make you stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. So let me ask you, when you think about what they did, can you shift your perspective? Can you start to see the lessons hidden within the pain, the ways it has shaped you into the person you are becoming? There's another layer to this, one that's deeply spiritual. When a chosen one hurts you, The energy they create doesn't just stay with them. It flows into the cosmic field, touching everyone involved. And because you were on the receiving end of that energy, you have a unique ability to transmute it. Transmutation is the process of taking something negative and turning it into something positive, something higher. Think of it like alchemy, not with metals, but with emotions, with experiences, with energy. When you take the pain they caused and use it to fuel your growth, your healing, your evolution, you're not just rising above it, you're transforming it. You're taking their bad karma and turning it into your good karma. This doesn't mean you forget what they did or pretend it didn't happen. It means you choose not to let it define you. You choose to rise, to heal, to thrive in spite of it. So let me ask you, what would it look like for you to transmute their actions? What would it feel like to turn their harm into your power? But let's be honest, this process isn't easy. It requires you to face the pain head-on, to sit with it, to feel it fully before you can release it. And that's where many people get stuck. They try to bypass the pain, to suppress it, to move on without truly dealing with it. But here's the truth: you can't heal what you don't acknowledge. The only way out is through. You have to let yourself grieve, not just for what they did, but for the version of you that was hurt, the version of you that had to carry that pain. And as you grieve, something miraculous happens. You start to shed the weight of it. You start to make space for something new, for healing, for love, for growth. So let me ask you, are you willing to face the pain? Are you willing to feel it fully so that you can finally release it? And here's the most beautiful part: when you transmute their bad karma into your growth, you do more than just heal yourself. You send ripples of healing out into the world. Your energy shifts, and that shift affects everyone you come into contact with. You become a living example of resilience, of transformation, of what it means to rise above. And in doing so, you fulfill your own purpose as a chosen one, because yes, you are chosen too. The fact that you were strong enough to endure their actions, to learn from them, to grow because of them, that's proof of your own power, your own divinity. So let me ask you one final question before we continue. Can you see how their bad karma has become the foundation for your greatest evolution? The divine balance, why their karma liberates your destiny. The universe operates on a system of perfect balance. Even when it doesn't feel that way. When someone hurts you, especially a chosen one, it can feel like all the power is in their hands. They seem to walk away untouched, while you're left carrying the weight of their actions. But here's the truth. The universe is always watching. It sees every intention, every action, and every ripple that flows from one soul to another. And when a chosen one harms you, the divine balance shifts into motion. Their karma begins its journey. And with it comes the opportunity for your liberation. The pain they cause becomes the doorway to your destiny if you're willing to step through it. So let me ask you, are you still waiting for balance to be restored? Or are you ready to take the reins of your own liberation? One of the most profound aspects of karma is that it doesn't just correct, it elevates. For every action they took that harmed you, the universe offers you an equal and opposite opportunity to rise. This isn't about revenge or retribution, it's about alignment. But when their energy disrupted your life, it created a void, a space where something new, something greater, can take root. That void might feel painful at first, like a wound that doesn't seem to heal. But within that space lies the potential for your greatest growth. And here's the secret: the deeper the wound, the higher the potential for transformation. The harm they caused wasn't just a random act, it was a catalyst, a cosmic push toward your next level. So let me ask you, what have you been avoiding in that space? What new possibilities have been trying to emerge from the pain they left behind? It's important to understand that their karma doesn't just come back to them in a linear way. Karma isn't a simple eye for an eye equation. It's a system of soul evolution designed to teach, to awaken, and to realign. When a chosen one hurts you, their karma isn't just about paying a price, it's about facing themselves. The universe will reflect back to them the energy they've created, not as punishment, but as a mirror. They'll encounter situations, people, and experiences that force them to confront the impact of their actions. And while that might sound satisfying, remember this: their karma is their lesson, not yours. Waiting for them to get what they deserve only ties your energy to theirs, keeping you stuck in a loop of pain and resentment. True liberation comes when you release that loop, when you trust that the universe is handling their karma so you can focus on your destiny. So let me ask you, are you still holding on to their energy, or are you ready to let it go and reclaim your own? The divine balance also works in your favor in ways you may not immediately recognize. When someone hurts you, especially if they're someone with spiritual power, it often unlocks a deeper level of your own potential. It's like the universe is saying, they tried to dim your light, but now I'm going to make it shine even brighter. The pain they caused can become the fire that fuels your purpose, the spark that ignites your soul's mission. And here's the most beautiful part: as you rise, as you heal, as you step into your power, you shift the energy of the entire situation. You're no longer just the one who was hurt, you become the one who transcended, who grew, who turned darkness into light. And that shift doesn't just free you, it ripples back through the entire cosmic field, creating healing and balance for everyone involved. So let me ask you, can you see how their actions, as painful as they were, might have been the very thing that set you free? But let's be honest, letting go isn't easy. It's not as simple as saying, I forgive them, or I'm moving on. It's a process, one that requires you to confront the anger, the sadness, the betrayal, and the loss. It requires you to feel everything you've been avoiding, to sit with the discomfort until it no longer controls you. This is the work of liberation. It's not glamorous, and it's not fast, but it's worth it. Because on the other side of that work is a version of you that is unshakable. A version of you that no longer gives your power away to anyone, not even a chosen one. So let me ask you, what would it feel like to finally release their hold on you? To take back the energy they stole and use it to rebuild yourself stronger than ever? As they face their karma, you'll notice something interesting. The more you focus on your own healing, the less their actions seem to matter. The weight they once held over you begins to dissolve, replaced by a sense of peace, of clarity, of freedom. This is the divine balance in action. The universe doesn't just right the wrongs, it elevates you above them. It takes what was meant to harm you and turns it into the foundation of your greatest strength. So let me ask you one final question before we move forward. Are you ready to rise above their actions and fully step into the destiny that has been waiting for you all along? Rising beyond karma, how to thrive as the architect of your own destiny. There comes a time in every journey when the focus must shift from what was done to you to what you are now capable of doing. Pain often feels like the end, but it's merely the beginning. When someone, especially a chosen one, hurts you, it's not just an event, it's an invitation. An invitation to rise beyond the karma, beyond the betrayal, beyond the story of what happened, and step fully into your power as the architect of your own destiny. The truth is, their bad karma will catch up to them. But your liberation doesn't depend on it. You don't need to stand in the shadows, waiting for the universe to balance the scales. Balance has already begun, and it starts with you. So let me ask you, are you ready to stop holding on to their actions and start building a life that reflects your highest potential? The most powerful shift you can make is realizing that their actions no longer control your narrative. What they did to you is a chapter, not the entire book. The pain they caused is a thread in the tapestry of your life, but it doesn't define the whole picture. You have the pen now. You get to decide what comes next. The universe hasn't abandoned you, it's been guiding you toward this moment of realization. And here's the thing about pain: it has the power to break you open, to strip away the illusions, the distractions, and the doubts, leaving you face to face with your true self. Their karma is their journey, but your healing is your revolution. So let me ask you, what would it look like to take back the pen, to rewrite your story from a place of power, purpose, and clarity? One of the greatest lessons in rising beyond karma is understanding the power of forgiveness, not for them, but for you. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing their behavior or pretending it didn't hurt. It means releasing the emotional chains that tie you to the past. When you hold on to resentment, anger, or a desire for revenge, you're still energetically connected to them, still carrying the weight of their actions. But when you forgive, you cut that cord. You set yourself free. Forgiveness is an act of self-liberation, a declaration that you will no longer allow their actions to dictate your mental, emotional, or spiritual state. So let me ask you, are you ready to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace? As you begin to release the pain and shift your focus inward, something extraordinary happens. You start to see the gifts hidden within the experience. Yes, even the most painful moments carry gifts. Maybe their betrayal taught you resilience, the ability to stand strong in the face of adversity. Maybe their cruelty forced you to look inward, to discover parts of yourself you had been neglecting. Or maybe their actions served as a wake-up call, pushing you to finally prioritize your own healing, growth, and happiness. The chosen ones who hurt you were never meant to define your life, they were meant to awaken it. They were the catalyst, but you are the creator. So let me ask you, can you see the gifts hidden in the pain? Can you embrace the lessons without holding on to the wound? Thriving beyond karma means stepping fully into your own light, no longer waiting for external validation, justice, or closure. It's about reclaiming your power and using it to create a life that reflects your highest potential. This doesn't mean the scars will disappear, they're part of your story. But those scars become symbols of your strength, reminders that you've survived, that you've overcome, that you've risen. Thriving means choosing joy, even after the pain. It means aligning with your purpose, even when others try to pull you off course. It means becoming the version of yourself that pain could never destroy. So let me ask you, what does thriving look like for you? What steps can you take today, right now, to move closer to that vision? As you rise, you'll notice that the energy around you begins to shift. The people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your higher self will start to flow into your life. This is the law of attraction in action, the universe responding to your elevated vibration. When you focus on healing, on growth, on thriving, you naturally attract more of the same. The bad karma that once felt like a storm in your life becomes nothing more than a distant memory, a reminder of how far you've come. And as you thrive, something even more profound happens. You inspire others. Your journey becomes a beacon of hope for those still trapped in their pain, a reminder that it's possible to rise, to heal, to create a life of beauty and purpose. So let me ask you one final question. Are you ready to not just survive, but to thrive, to become the light that transforms not just your life, but the lives of everyone you touch? The choice has always been yours. Their karma will play out, but your destiny is in your hands. You are more powerful than the pain they caused, more resilient than the wounds they left, more expansive than the story they tried to write for you. This is your time to rise. The universe has been waiting for you to step into your power, to take the raw material of your pain and turn it into something extraordinary. So rise, chosen one. The world is waiting for the light only you can bring.